being on the red side, you do have to take it away. It's a very strong pick.
Yeah, absolutely right. And of course, Sharp and Fantix, they can both play it, so it's just a strong flex. But if you give it to the Chiefs, why wouldn't they play it themselves? It's just too strong.
It certainly is, as Kassadin will be another selection. So trend continuing, as we've had actually really 3 Fantix bans here, with the GP being banned away from Dialves, as well as Tom Kench will be the next one there.
So the real question is, are they going to ban Twisted Fate away from Fantix? I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed here from the Chiefs in some way, shape or form. And it's not just because Twisted Fate is really good. It's because Fantix plays split push really well.
Yes, he really does. Exceptional player. And you can see the Chiefs know that as well. They are going to ban the TF, so correct thinking there from Rusty, as Direwolves, one more ban left. Lulu List could be banned away. See what they want to take away here. But on red side, they're probably expecting to get 2 good picks. And Poppy to Rise, Lulu, Lissandra, all the obvious ones. A Swiper goes straight to a fan favorite just for a bit of fun.
Same personal Wu champion. You know? Like he has the Tryndamere there available to him. But
imagine
never.
Tryndamere made the Wu sound when he did the Raw.
Well,
instead of the chicken, just go woo!
It'd be pretty funny if like Malphite did as well, or Nautilus, like these massive design champions that scream like girls. Like, that would be great. But again, Swipe, I don't think he's actually allowed to play Tryndamere in his team, so he's been banned from that one. So just hovers it for fun all the time. Lulu and Lissandra, as you mentioned, as the last bans, both available right now. I would wager a lot more emphasis should be on the Lissandra, just because of the way Cheese plays, but no.
Yeah,
Lulu.
Actually Lulu there could of course be Swiper's champion, certainly has practice on it as well, but Cheese would maybe be your first choice, but we'll see what Dials wants to take away. Lissandra open, Rise open's the other big one perhaps.
Yeah.
I believe Sharp actually
100%.
is also a Rise player, so there's definitely flexibility there for the Direwolves.
And they've banned the Yasuo and Kassadin over Rise is the real question mark. Are they that good at Kassadin and Yasuo that you can't afford to get rid of what is arguably the strongest champion in the meta right now?
I mean, this is the thing. We hear this all the time from people. Fantix, we've seen him play as an exceptionally good player, and he constantly draws 3 bans. But I just feel like, especially from mid lane, he's never quite had a breakout OPL game just yet. We know it exists. We know we can go pretty much 1v5 mode if he really powers up. Yeah. But he hasn't been allowed to just yet. So if this series he makes it work against the Chiefs, that's incredibly impressive.
Definitely is, and these are the kind of drafting phases that only the Direwolves can do to you.
Yeah.
And that is, because you have to target ban, everyone gets a strong champion.
Well, actually, Trundle, Corki the first pickup tier for Direwolves, so I'll flex with the Trundle. Corki, of course, a race special, so happy to take that one in again. Probably won't see as many aggressive Valkyries, but you never know. Kid likes to go in.
I just remember last time we watched him.
Oh my god.
Did it into the wall.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm thinking of. But yeah, Raze, he's aggressive. That's one thing that he is. So giving him a champion like Corki, giving him the package on Corki as well, there's a very real opportunity for him to throw it all away or make it all come together.
Yep. There's one moment there for Raze, who we'll see if he reins in some of the aggression against the very cool, calm, and collected Radier EGM bottom lane. Spooks, though, is going to lock in the Graves. I assume Radier is going to get that Ezreal. He loves the champion, but could go somewhere else as well. And the Chiefs, off to a good start with the draft, and still none of these picks we've mentioned are being taken just yet. Yeah. The Dials do this a lot. They love last picking for Fantix, even when there's a strong champion they could take.
Yeah, it doesn't actually matter. Fantix just needs to be the last pick on principle. And at the moment, you have to keep in mind flexible picks. Favor Direwolves being on red side to give Perfection that last pick option also. His champion pool is extensive. He can play everything, so you may as well give him the option to play what is absolutely the best for him in the draft by making it a last pick. It's
pretty scary to think of a player that draws usually 3 bans almost every game, but still has plenty of champions. So how good are the champions that are getting banned away from him?
If it comes down to it, he could probably still last pick a Hecarim mid and make it work.
Probably. We might see a jungler here though from the Direwolves. Sybil, the other half of that duo. As there is the Elise, and there's the Rise that we expected. Coming quite late in this draft to the Direwolves, and they've still got flexibility.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be a Trundle top lane or support. We don't know if Rise is going to be mid.
Wow, Chiefs are done. Olaf, Shen, they really had those picks lined up. And I guess that's support Shen.
Yeah, support Shen. It says to me that Rise should be mid based off this. I feel like the confidence pick of the Olaf is just ready to run at the Rise, who has to go tier first item, max the Q, and just keep him there. It'd be very easy to kill that Rise, actually.
Yeah, so I like the pick there from the Swiper, who I assume is getting the Olaf with Cheese on the Lulu. As we'll see where the Chiefs move their comp around in a second, but Direwolves do have one more pick to make here. They're hovering technically a mid-AD champion, right? And we have seen Fantix play this before, but I definitely expect more of the Rise.
I am not on board with this personally. I think they should go for a top laner or support.
Could be a Very ambitious bait here, but 7 seconds left for the Dials to decide if this is how they want to round things out. 3 seconds left, so it seems like they are going to commit to this. And a poke champion, actually, for Fantix. His second one, really, of the OPL. He's played a lot of Ezreal recently in that mid lane. Now going to take Varus, another AD carry.
So they're running a Corki Varus, which is like it's kind of a poke composition. We have an added bonus of potential either engage or disengage between them. Varus can use the ultimate, and Corki has just got the separation from the package Valkyrie and just got his own Valkyrie to boot. So there's a lot of utility behind the Direwolves team composition. It's mostly pick and poke focused. They can siege and they can disengage very well, whereas the Chiefs, and this is the varying styles that we have seen from both of these teams kind of clashing now, is they want to team fight the Chiefs. Yep. Whereas the Direwolves don't really want to team fight, but they want to pressure the lanes down. Yeah, and they could have some early pressure with a bit of, I guess, backdoor Rise insurance. So options here for the Direwolves, of course, but I have to think the Chiefs knew exactly that Rise was going top already. We do know Sharp's a good Rise player, but that Olaf pick was so instant, and it looks so good against his team comp. Yeah, it does. I mean, the split pushing utility from this Olaf right now, I feel like could be a defining feature of this. I do think, though, if the game continues to scale later and later, that the Rise will get powered up anyway. The Rise will still do damage, and that 1v1 is like, the second you see the Rise, you have to Ragnarok and run at him. Yep. Otherwise, he will just kill you. Yeah, Rise is not a joke as a champion, so we'll see what Sharky gets on here. Don't forget to get on Twitter, of course, and use the hashtag CHF win for the Chiefs or DW win for the Direwolves. Get the hashtag IamOPL out there as well. It's a huge match between these two Titans. Pretty much two top 4 teams from both the splits they participated in. Chiefs, of course, won twice and are still the reigning champions and the OPL Legend title holder. Direwolves got a lot to play for here. Yep, Chiefs the one looking to retain their title, and Direwolves with everything to prove right now. This is probably the first and biggest match that we'll have in the OPL for week 2. Lots of hype behind this one. Yeah, what a great way to end the week here, as the Chiefs will take to the Rift against the Direwolves here for our first game in our best of 3. Could, of course, go the distance as well. We have yet to have a 3-game best of 3 early on in the OPL, so maybe this is where it starts, but it does, of course, have to start with this first game, as the team's just going to fan out very neutral start. Yeah, neutral's kind of expected, I would say, from the Direwolves in particular. The team composition, again, that they're running is a bit, don't really want to fight you at level 1, whereas the Chiefs can afford to. Certainly can, with Ejim getting aggressive as well. He's going to spot Raze. Ejim threatening the taunt. That's pretty much support channel in a nutshell. You just walk at them and see what happens. I love when people hit wards that you place as well. Just once. Just give it a tap. You're like, I could have killed that. I know this is here. Yeah, acknowledgement of ward placement. You just haven't caught up. Looks like we will have maybe a camp start here as well. It's Fantix. They're in the mid lane on the Varus. Already started Hail of Arrows, I believe. But should be just looking to farm up here. Again, we've seen a lot of this poke stuff from Fantix. Very good poke, very good player, of course, but is recently favoring a lot of these longer range poke style ADs especially. Yeah, and the interesting part here is they can't run a 1-3-1 with Direwolves, which is what they used to do. They've only got the one option for split pushing in Sharp, and so they need to work around having Fantix grouped up the entire time. No Twisted Fate to play this game. And we'll see how that works out for him. But Rise, of course, a very good champion. Out the split push if he does get going, and Spook's going to start the Grump solo. Very powerful, healthy jungler is Graves. Has just some early trading here in that mid lane. Cheese, like was mentioned earlier, big test here in mid lane for him as the new mid laner of the Chiefs, at least for now, and for quite a while as well. Had a great first series, but it's got a very different opponent this time around. The best thing about Cheese is every champion is an assassin. Correct. Let's see if he can actually utilize this effectively on Lulu, which just makes no sense, but it's awesome. I feel like the Dials kind of bounce out, actually. We've got extra teams, I guess, because Raze is also hyper-aggressive, so yeah, you know, could see some different moments here from both the AD carry and the mid laner of Dials and Chiefs, respectively. So we're just having some poke down here, but very practiced bottom lane here. Raze keeping up for now with Kudum, but Radier and Ejim really taking it to them, and Radier so comfortable in every single matchup. Yeah, it's the threat of the taunt that's actually letting Radier play this offensively. Corki would 100% out-trade him. Oh, Sybil's level 2. Spook's already level 3. He does not get a good smite from Sybil, but lucky maybe to get out with his life. Does ding through now as well, but that looks a little bit scary. Whenever Graves walks into the enemy jungle, it always feels like a bad time. It does feel scary, but I will say that it only feels scary against a regular Graves. This is Spook's Graves, which is like, I'm just going to watch your every move and stalk you around the map. to make you inaccessible to the lanes that may already be losing.
Yep, making sure to check everything out here. Is Sharp getting pushed in early, sort of expected, I suppose, but last hitting relatively well, keeping up in CS, and just missed that one, but should be okay. Oh, even gets the snare on, actually. Just a bit of poke there onto Swiper.
I think Sharp most likely wants to clear the wave, get about 700, get his tier. Sybil's being stalked, though.
Yeah, looks like he will get his blue. Actually has his smite up as well, so did that camp the safest way possible. But Ejim allowed to leave bottom lane on his own. Does present a threat. No blue steal there, but good info there for the Chiefs early on. Ejim leaves just to put a trinket ward down.
Yeah, and again, this is the style you expect from the Chiefs. Not only Spooks does it, but they watch your every movement as a jungler, and they win their 2v2 and 1v1 respectively in all of the lanes. It forces you to want to gank, but every time that you try, they know that you're going to be there. Standard stuff, but very, very effective with little counterplay.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, it's part of the reason they've been on top for so long. So we'll pop back into the bottom lane. Raid is very happy that Ezreal's back in the metagame. There's good traffic cone there for Kuden, but Ejim able to taunt out of the way. Raze will pop down the Gatling gun just to help clear the wave a little bit more, and we'll sort of reset this one here as early back from the top laners. Looks like Wave's in a pretty neutral spot, so Swiper going to run back with his boots and a Ruby Crystal, and there's the tier for Sharp. He is going to burn the TP. Get that tier stacking right away.
Always TP, worth for cannon. That's exactly what he was getting there. Picks up the cannon, definitely winning the lane now because of that. And of course, has his tier, so scaling in the top lane. This bottom lane has been frozen in quite a nice position here for Direwolf.
Oh, good hook, good taunt there, sorry, by Ejim. Damage going to turn around. Raze trying to do what he can, but pinpoint skill shot there from Ejim.
And yet again, it's still frozen. You have to keep this in mind, as no matter how long Chiefs can keep them pressured here, if Direwolves can keep it frozen, they run the risk of being ganked. And before their first recall for the Chiefs, the wards are sparing at best.
Yep, Cheese does well there. Fantix, oh no, not going to go back. Cheese, trademark flash right there in the middle, and actually puts the Ignite down. Might be a kill, but Fantix will get away to safety. Popped everything to live though. That was it. That was what we were waiting for. The cheese moment.
Exactly. Wouldn't be a cheese game
without some cheese.
Without some Gouda in the mid lane. That's exactly what he's just done. Catches you with your pants down.
Yeah, and Fantix pulls him back up just at the last second. Sybil now going to clear this out and keep the turret nice and healthy. Tier up for Fantix now as well. It does have the longsword. In fact, we've got tiers all over the place in this game. Double tiers for Dial. You have to think Raid is going to get one pretty soon.
Yeah, wow. There's a lot of scaling.
Yep, certainly is. Raid might get greedy here, but just keeping the wave. I mean, frozen nicely by Dials, as you noted, so
yeah,
no one's really in any hurry, it feels like, to go for a recall.
Starting to push back now towards the Chiefs, and Raider, of course, going for the tier build, might be inclined to want to recall to start stacking it sooner, but if you can afford to go for the Sheen with the tier, still an effective first buy because you get a power spike as well as the mana pool.
It's so good, but you have to farm quite a lot. It's about 1,800 gold, I think, for all that, so efficient, but as you'll does want to navigate the early stages as best you can, and Raider's done a great job here with Ejim. Oh, even get the ward. No!
Whoa, nope. Yeah, you're looking at, I'm going to say around 70 CS mark is when he'd be okay with recalling. It might be 80. I'm not doing math at the moment. Can't be bothered. Okay. Plenty of time to figure it out. Swiper being pushed in a bit. Oh, good axe lands. Now it's going to go in straight in for the Ragnarok Sharp. Forced to flash away. He just can't do anything. Thankfully, Swiper does not chase in, but he does get a free summoner. He gets the flash out, so now it's a gank target if required or available, basically, to the Chiefs. The thing is, Swiper still has his teleport, so even if the trade went poorly for him, he would have been okay in that lane. And Sharp doesn't have his because he used it to get back to the lane. Yep. Now struggling. Yep. So good little turnaround there for Swiper, who was falling a bit behind on CS. You can see Dio was actually aggressively pushing us back out. Oh, no cancel there. Pillar, a little late for Kuden. And Ray's just going to push this back because Ray did go back with 70 CS. We'll see how good Rusty's math is. There's a Shin, there's a tier. Well done. Oh, we did it. Yay. Woo! 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 No Soraka's in this game. We'll have to give Kuden a woo. Maybe every pillar we can give him a woo. They should release like a Gandalf Trundle skin that just like puts down the white staff or something instead. Not pass. Yeah. Instead of a traffic cone, it'd be genius. Wizard Trundle. What a skin that would be. Oh yeah, we can't call him Gandalf. Fantix still
struggling a bit, actually. Keeping up nicely on CS, which is expected from the mechanically proficient mid laner. But Cheese is doing Cheese things here. Getting nice and aggressive with the double Dorans and the Codex there on Lulu. Fantic's just going to have to sit back and take it, but he'll be just fine here. As long as Cheese isn't able to all-in him again. As Raze does have the package, waiting for his support now to come back down.
He's just wiggling.
Having a wiggle.
That's great.
He's got good items. He's actually maybe coming in for this. Does reveal himself now, so they'll know the package is there, obviously.
Well, he'd need Kuden here to even consider it in the first place, and you don't want to miss farm when your support is AWOL.
No. So, certainly hope he waits for his support, and he will at least for now. But see if he picks a spot with the package or not, or just lets it sit there threatening.
I don't know if he'll find a spot to use it.
Maybe he'll just do it.
He might.
Raze does like to just do things.
Might just do it into the wall again. Nope. That's not even fun.
Not yet.
You could have just did it to the right into the wall.
I would have.
Yeah.
Send a message. Maybe over a creep, try and get a
cost
last
mana?
hit. I don't know.
Tweet at spawn.
There we go.
If it has mana.
As Raze now with the Rockets, able to actually push this lane back quite a bit more. Rady without Gauntlet. Gonna maybe struggle to keep this wave pushed up just as aggressively as he was. But still keeping it there for now. Sharp. Swifty Boots done. I do like this pickup quite a lot here, especially against the Olaf.
This feels like the exact position where Sharp will get hit by a single axe
and then
Swiper will just press ult and run at him again.
Yep. It's all available here in Sharp, of course. A little while off that flash. And Arctis blocking the Qs as well. Sharp is stacking up.
Thankfully swift and dodging them.
Yes, very swift. Oh, goes in. Flash. Now going to pop the Ragnarok. Ejim down here as well. Sharp. He just can't get out of this. Ejim. Oh, my God. He missed the taunt. Exhaust is down. They will go for the dive. Looks to turn it around, but first blood does go to Swiper.
Missing the taunt did not matter. Swiper once again knew there was no flash available for Sharp, and they punish him for it. Sybil has found... Oh, my God.
Mad Life's it with the Cocoon. Radier. Now going to get chased down. He pops the heal as well. Sybil might just go all in for it. He's gone straight for the dive. True Shot barrages out. Red buff is not enough. And
no,
Sybil,
it's enough.
Oh my God, it is enough. Dangerous game keeps him alive.
Sybil just completely schooled Radier. That was ridiculous work here.
Style points.
The Direwolves jungler has not stopped impressing me at the start of this split. Used to be a facilitator, and now he is showing that he's a capable carry.
This was so sick.
There was nothing he could do right there. Honestly, he had no choice. The flash prediction was just phenomenal, though. Sybil even diving, hits the Q, badass. Walk away. Don't look at explosions. See you later.
Very nice play there from the Elisa. Sharp did lose his tower on the top side, but going to try and keep this here and keep that farm going. Catalyst is on the way. So it looks like Rod of Aegis here for Eyes. Pretty standard stuff. And actually bottom tower fell as well. That Dial was able to take that after Sybil's very, very stylish play. And Raze is close to that Trinity Force. Raider also approaching the Gauntlet. We're about to hit a very early peak in this game. And with the map opened up on either side, we'll see if the teams want to have a bash. Or if they look to take down some of those outers.
Give him a bash.
Well, Trundle's giving him a bash.
Woo! It's giving him a woo.
I hope now if, like, this could be great, because Kuden could now, when he eventually watches it, he might just start wooing Ejim in all chat whenever they play.
That's the best thing, actually. He doesn't know that that video was on because he's playing the game.
Well, maybe someone told him. We'll know. Who knows? Maybe we should tell him. As Cheese does have Frost Queen's claim now as well. Trinity Force also done for Corki. So early items really coming out. Corki's actually top side now, so they are going to make the lane swap. As Fantic also farming up a Storm. Looks like Ghostblade first, actually, for the Varus. And that's serrated Dirk in the inventory.
He might go towards more of Malmortis as well. Keep that in mind, of course. Very good getting a Hex Drinker for early to mid-game pro in this particular game. We said that we looked to Fantix as the big major carry, but he's basically just going to be sitting in that mid lane farming as best he can.
Uh-oh, trouble for Sharp though. Now as he popped back in, he's going to get dope here. Sybil here to defend is nice, and a snare does land, but the damage a little too much there already onto the Rise.
And hello, welcome back, of course. Action, not a big surprise. They have lane swap, though, is worth noting.
Swiper going in now for the 2v2, ripping Raze to pieces there as Ejim isn't quite going to land that taunt. Cheese is here as well, though. He's going to flash forward, and Swiper will get the kill. Now Kuden going to get himself chased down. He's already popped the ulti onto Ejim, but good flash might just secure enough distance. Axe just a bit short there from Swiper. For the Chiefs, a good gank and a good turret take.
Yeah, they get a turret and a successful gank. They don't get the second member. But of course, the Frost Queen's claim was the biggest deal there. Actually slowing down Raze to the point where he had to fight. Didn't even bother using his heal because he was dead. And Cheese, we just said he's going to be pretty good if he's staying mid and poking and the team will come to him. Well, he still went to them.
Yeah, nice roaming there from Chiefs as he does drift into the top lane, and a good double play from Chiefs to defend their top outer from the Trinity Force Corki, but also secure a turret for themselves in the bottom. Although, yep, now long lane without an ulti here for Swiper. Kuden is going to slow him down. He can't go anywhere, really. And Sybil just going to chase him down. He might actually go in. Berserker Rage will proc in there, and Swiper is going to try and take it in, but a Sybil there with the shutdown.
That was actually really smart from Sybil. He stayed in Repel as long as he possibly could before having to come down. Didn't even come down next to Swiper. He chose the minion closest to him to create some distance between the two, because Swiper's just going to stand still and auto-attack through his sustain on that W. Waits for the Q cooldown, and he missed the W.
Yeah, have to go in for it. That's a rare one to miss.
Yeah, I actually don't understand.
Just wasn't in range, unfortunately, but with Fantix absent, Chiefs make the smart rotation, go to mid and try and knock that tower down. Good response from the Direwolves, burning some ultis to make sure the wave stays down, but the tower's pretty low. If Fantix gets poked out again, Chiefs might just be able to take it.
This is almost the point where Fantix has to concede this wave or just use his ultimate to deny them.
Direwolves did not stay to defend this turret. Fantix takes way too much poke, and Varus can't compete through all that. He's going to have to lose the tower. As Kuden comes in to help him with the minions. He's going to proc the charges just a few times, and the Chiefs now grouping for the Rift Herald might as well take it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just standing gold that you may as well take if it's there for you. Olaf will actually benefit quite nicely from this if they opt towards giving it to Swiper, that you would assume. Being in that 1v1, which is evidently now 1v2, smart of the Direwolves, I will say, to recognize that you can tell from Swiper's build on this Olaf, he wants to kill Ryze.
Yep.
And Corki said, oh, well, I can kill you instead.
Yeah, I mean,
physical.
I like the swap, but I'm going to have to be careful with the tier 2 as your only safety, really, in that top. Dial's also going to start dragging because they did spot Swiper with the Rift Herald buff, so a good take there. Might as well pick it up where you can. And again, just strong, good reactive but proactive play as well from these teams, just doing what they can given the texture of the game.
Yeah, and we're looking at the top lane, Olaf versus Corki, and you would have to assume that they need to send 2 members, so Kuden will have to go and help Raze with this 1v1 scenario, but they go for the Dragon before they send anyone top lane to help him. Just generally smart play across the map here from Direwolves, taking whatever they can as effectively as they can.
Yep, Sharp's here as well, actually, and I don't know if he got spotted. I think he
top
did.
Turret.
They are looking for that turret. Oh, Swiper now going to maybe get caught. Go straight in there for Raze. Misses the slow. Nice Ragnarok there from Swiper.
Just always looks great.
Oh, Corki every time.
But meaning there's no ultimate available for Swiper. He's actually a target.
Yeah, big target.
For Sharp to go for.
Sharp does have his ulti as well, so Swiper makes a smart play. We'll seed the turret here. Kuden even comes in for a couple slaps. And that will be Raze to take it down. Now 2-3 in turrets, excuse me. And almost dead even on gold. Chiefs with a very mild lead. But as we expected, 2 strong teams playing against each other. It's been a super close early game.
It definitely has been. The rotations around the map have been matched for the most part every single time. It's an extra turret, but
wow.
Ijim
again. Missing that taunt. Woo. That's going to be a woo there from Kuden, yeah.
Kuden says woo, walks away casually because
that must be it. He just got distracted by the noise.
Yeah,
looked the wrong way and couldn't quite line up the taunt.
Ijim stares at Kuden, chasing him down, says, this is my taunt, and then just hears woo in the back of his head and tilts and misses.
Turns around. Oh, wrong way.
This is the secret of the Chiefs.
Take note, other teams. Woo Ijim into oblivion.
Literally.
Sharp. Clearing the top wave out. Now, level 11 actually with the roller done. He's actually very healthy. Even going to just stop right there and freeze that wave. This could give Chiefs opportunity on the bottom half of the map, but Sharp's doing what he needs to do. He needs to get the farm up and really start scaling. Fantix looks to be in a bit of trouble.
So Fantix doesn't even have his tower to defend in the middle lane anymore. And the Chiefs have got Cheese and Raider sitting in the exact same lane. And honestly, a blue buff Varus can wave clear it 100% of the time. Well, he's only just lost it.
Trust ran out, unfortunately, but yeah, you can see that wave clear. Real easy there for Fantix as Kuden will assist him with the cannon.
So the question about that, though, is why have they got Cheese and Raider in the exact same lane together? Spooks is focusing on jungle clearing because he's a Graves and can do that quite nicely. And they can't really go top lane because Sharp's got a freeze. It means the Swiper can't go top lane because of the freeze, and he goes bottom. And now everyone holds hands and has a tea party in the middle lane.
Yep.
but Direwolves are the benefactors.
Yeah, this freeze is really benefiting the Wolves here, and Chiefs might make a play up top to go and break it. They've got good room to move around here with the outer ring broken, so plenty of pressure they can put around the centrals, but might just be that Direwolves also sticking together where they can. I do like that, interestingly, the split pushers are at least for now avoiding each other. Sharp is going to go ahead and recall, but Wave is finally starting to push back as Fantic does get jumped on. Wild Growth there, but Rady going to clean him off the rip with a true shot barrage. Cheese now jumping in towards Raze, who's going to have to flash as well, but Rady does move forward. Kuden needs the body block here, does do a good job, but that's a easy pickup for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that was really simple to execute on. The taunt from Ejim connects this time onto Fantix. Doesn't have a cleanse, has the heal, but opts into not using that either, as he basically goes down in the duration of that taunt. Graves has a lot of burst damage. Lulu and Ezreal have a lot of burst damage, so this is a dangerous game to play here, Direwolves, because one person gets caught, basically just dies.
Yeah, and then the CT train. All the ultis pile in from the ADs, and Chiefs now on the assault in the bottom half of the map. Sybil does need to be careful. Finds Cheese there with the snare on the cocoon, but killer out there from Kuden, going to try and zone the Chiefs away. Sharp is here, he's prepping up that ulti, and Varus is walking back down. Wouldn't be a bad spot for the Dials to fight, and the Chiefs, knowing this, will get themselves out of the area.
And Sybil's going CDR tank at the moment. He's not going the Runic Echoes that we saw from Seb on that last Elise play. Looking to be able to tank and be a frontline for his team. I really like this decision instead of going carry, because their top laner is going to be a carry and Rise, and they need somebody to frontline to work with Kuden on this Trundle. Apparently Kuden doesn't frontline anyway, according to Ejim. We'll see about that.
Been a bit more forward this game, but we'll see as the Direwolves are doing actually something that's pretty typical of them. They're almost a 25-minute team. They love to farm up that early game, stack double tiers in this particular case. They can be very explosive in that mid game where they usually pull ahead and can just vault out to a win. But it's going to be tricky against the Chiefs here as Spooks just destroys that poor creep wave.
And this is the perfect game for Boots of Swiftness. So I'm surprised that not all 5 members even just went for Boots of Swiftness if you were Direwolves.
They got 3. It's quite a lot. There's Ejim. He's going to move out of the way of the cocoon, but Dials will move forward and clear some vision.
But I mean, the reason I say that is Olaf axes, Lulu Qs, Ezreal slows with his Frozen Fist. I mean, they're literally just slows everywhere.
Well, here comes the siege portion of the Direwolves comp, but not all grouped together just yet. Seem to be missing one.
They've got the important members though.
Yep.
They've got their tank, they've got their 2 poke tools, and they're disengaging Kuden on this Trundle. So difficult for Chiefs to execute, even knowing that there's no flash available for Shen for the engage.
And this could make it a bit easier as well. Fantix will collect the blue buff. And they're going to return to that mid lane. Does go the safe way as Kuden's actually gone back, probably to refresh that Sightstone. And Sharp again is hanging out on the bottom side. This time he's actually being opposed by Swiper and his Olaf, but Rise is getting the farm that he needs.
Yeah, and this is that point in the game that Carbon even mentioned. How long will it last before Rise just one-hits people? And honestly, he's close to that stage. He's almost got his Seraphs, I guess. Yeah, wouldn't be far off with the tier stacking.
No, certainly not. The Swiper just going to shove this in. Might get aggressive. Oh, actually now another dive coming out. Ragnarok burn once more. Sharp trying to juke around, but he goes straight to the wall. Ejim's able to get him in a good flash. Jux just gets into safety.
The rest of the Direwolves are definitely rotated though. Needs to be careful as he woos them with the pillar. But Chiefs, they find an advantage every single time Swiper sees Sharp. They should be trying to kill him.
Yeah, and they're doing the right thing here. Chiefs are even going to swoop in for a dragon. Woo! There from Kuden once more. As he does pop the pillar down.
You've committed.
They are going to fight here. Chiefs, though, goodbye.
Dashes everywhere.
And Rise cancels the teleport.
Yeah, the Chiefs disengage. Rise doesn't have his teleport anymore, and Swiper does. So there's another point of power here for the Chiefs. Yeah. They could maybe work the bottom side.
That was a nice squad out moment there from the Chiefs. As Sharp is going to pop the passive, I believe.
He got all of them.
Yeah, look at that ulti.
That was juicy.
Ticking so far down. It was pretty much a quarter done. Now it's almost back up.
You know that even CS that they had? Not anymore.
Nope. Sharp's done a good job finding the lanes in the safe places, which is very important given how intelligently aggressive the Chiefs are being in trying to kill Sharp.
Yeah, and this is the Direwolves, so it's the difference in styles between these guys is that Sharp is going to be the split push option of this team. His one job is to not die to the Chiefs, so very tactical about his showing himself on the map. And this is a strength that the Direwolves have always possessed.
Yep. And again, even Ray's doing the right thing. He's got rapid fire cannon, actually. So plenty of good damage there. All various kinds of ranges from Corki. He's nice and strong too. Dials are sort of sticking 3 or 4 together and then giving Sharp farm, but this is going to be the redive. Swiper in it again. Ejim flash taunts one more time, and Sharp is going to get locked down this time perhaps. No, close. Shield not enough there as the ultis, just in case from Radiant.
And we're just going to see this time and again. Sharp can't position himself like this alone.
Oh my, actually going to go back in there. Ulti does land onto Ejim, but Fantix taking a lot of return damage. Ejim almost down, but the wild growth might just keep him alive. Dials can't quite chase for a kill. Kudun does get onto Rady, but it'll shift over the pillar. And no kills forthcoming there for Dials, just the kill down as Sharp falls once more to that combo.
And it's just so easy for this Chief lineup to capitalize on Sharp. He can have all the farm in the world, but it's not going to save him from an Olaf Shen running at your face when an Olaf actually does a lot of damage at this point in the game. He almost needs to go for a resistance because through the Seraph shield with a high mana pool rise, he still dies.
Yeah, rough stuff there as Sharp rightfully getting picked on here by the Chiefs and the Olaf Shen combo they assembled as their last picks in the draft, with the Rise potentially being a flex. Very confident drafting from Chiefs here, and it's paying off nicely against the Dials. Currently up 4 kills to 2 are the Chiefs. 2 of a gold lead, but it's pretty slim, only 1,500 up at this point. And you can just see one bigger skirmish could break things open.
Look at the farm.
Oh yeah, there's so much farm on the Direwolves.
Yeah, that's the one thing they're doing exceptionally right now. 200 CS on 3 of their members. Raze has 250 at 24 minutes compared to 200 of Radair.
Raze is like a farm bot. Oh,
he is a farm god.
He is a farm god. I mean, you know, you're going to take one aggressive AD carry with impeccable mechanics and farming off your team onto Legacy, might as well pick up the other guy. Raze definitely living up to King so far early on in the split. And those are big shoes to fill for a young player.
And a major difference is Raze just looks for minions.
Yep.
King finds champions sometimes.
Those are King's minions. The big ones, the biggest of game.
Yeah, they give the most gold.
They certainly do. As Raze has been a bit more measured this game. We haven't had too many aggressive packages. But the farming's looking good here. Swiper again, though, just hunting Sharp at this point. His flash is almost back. Ulti will proc. Swiper might just go back in for it. And now going to flash in. Here's the combo one more time. Sharp is going to pop the Seraph, but can't get out of the way of the taunt. And they'll just run him down one more time.
I feel like I've seen this before, Pastry Time. Direwolves still not learning their lesson, still not adapting, and still being outplayed. They need to fix this, or they will just start to slowly lose the game through one lane.
That's rough here. As Raze, actually good burst onto 2 members there. Radius shifts forward. It's a tower hit for his trouble as the Chiefs are going to group up and maybe look for a dive. Raze should be forced off here. Cheese, yep, going to force the Valkyrie out. And they will take top tier 2. The Dials,
look at bottom.
Dives are coming again. Cheese. Oh, he tries to do it again, but Cheese does not fall for it. Won't burn the flash, but Sybil still chasing. Repel's going to follow as well. Sybil walks through the Iceborne Gauntlet though. But yeah, bottom just being destroyed here by Swiper and Ejim, who did stay. Sharp's still dead there as well, and that's a broken open bottom side.
Committing that heavily to trying to get picks on the top side when the turret was already taken is pointless. They lose the bottom turret for it as well, needlessly.
And the Dials just feels like they're a little bit behind the play in all elements. It's kind of tricky to catch up with Ejim, who can teleport across the map, but as you mentioned, adaptation not quite there just yet. Swiping going to take Fantix's blues up and leave a little Sentinel there as well.
They're called sentries.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Worked it out because I was wondering last time.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Well,
but you're right.
Minute 5 to Dragon. Where'd it go? Did they kill it? Maybe someone else killed it. No, it's still there.
It was the sentry.
It's hiding in the fog of war.
Yeah, still there. Direwolves, again, there's one playstyle that the Chiefs have been doing in the past 5 minutes. That's let Swiper and Ejim kill Sharp.
Yep.
Everyone else just split push a side wave and control that middle lane that they're not actually attending. Really obvious now. You would have to think by the 3rd time that Sharp has died doing it, that they should be hiding Sharp from Swiper.
And really, how much? I mean, both their carries can't really afford to farm safely. Raze maybe can, but he's looking to be grouped with the team and do more damage. Maybe the Dials now look to fight. Bandit actually pops his Ghost Blade, but Ezreal, actually that wasn't Ezreal, that was Luduslow, I think. And the Dials maybe going to look for it now. Ulti pop there for Sharp, he wants it, but Cheese is so swift with the Whimsy. And he's away.
Yep, Cheese is going to get out. Sybil is trying to set stuff up for the Direwolves, but they're honestly just trying to keep the rest of the Chiefs in this lane to actually utilize their poke. But hello, bot lane.
Yep, Olaf again up to his old tricks. And this might even be Baron for Chiefs.
It should be.
Yeah, this is a really smart play. This Olaf pick is a stroke of genius.
You know what's cool is if they 5-man him, he can use Ragnarok and teleport.
Yes, that's the Ragnarport is one of the cooler Olaf things. And Swiper, Sharp literally can't do anything.
No. There's nothing he can do. Look at Swiper.
They're pulling Raze actually to try and make something happen here. Sharp, he's just going to die. Ejim goes again, but Raze is here. That might be enough to defend the inhib, but Chiefs should be onto Baron, and they are.
But they don't have the Shen ultimate, so if Direwolves come to deal with this, they're not going to have 5 members.
Gibble's here. Direwolves going to have to run a long way towards that Baron. And here's the port, I believe. Yep, Sharp using it. Direwolves want to fight, but the Chiefs just disengage. They'll take the cooldowns and do it again.
Easy work here, but there's a big cooldown now wasted. They were trying to threaten bottom at the same time as doing the Baron. But not having Shen, they should not have teleported for that. They should have just walked out bottom.
And this will be a good take for the Direwolves if they can get it. Wave is pretty good for Chiefs, but Radier, I think, almost hits a cocoon there. Does actually hit the ulti. QSS's it off there. But good aim there from Fantix gives Direwolves a tower. Kuden too far forward. Not this time. And the Thunderlord's proxying from Chiefs as a slow comes out from Glitterlance, but that's going to be a support force away as Fantix chucking poke straight to the front line. Cheese a little too far forward, in fact, but does land the slow. Poke is there. Sharp going to move in for the flash and get the kill. Now turning in onto Spooks, who's going to force his flash up. But Ejim locked up here will get taken out by Fantix and Swiper. He's probably not going to die, but Dials get good kills there.
Swiper's not going to take any damage, but Kuden overstaying his welcome actually baits the Chiefs into chasing him. They have so many slowing spells and poking spells here on Direwolves that between Raze and Fantix, they're able to take at least Cheese down. They go for the second best option in Ejim once they disengage with Spooks and Radier getting out. But that's 2 easy picks and another dragon here for the Direwolves. This is a comfortable position now. They just need to consolidate.
Yep. And again, taking some turrets are actually pretty far behind there because of the bottom lane shenanigans. So are still down about 3k gold, but game is very close at this stage.
They just have so much fun.
And the Dials are starting to adapt quite a bit better.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Chiefs change their attack. They had it all set up there, but...
I love this option, by the way, on Fantix. He's gone for Death's Dance.
Oh, yes.
15% of your physical damage is returned to you as health. That's kind of a big deal as Varus, who spends his entire time charging Q, where Lifesteal actually provides no utility whatsoever.
Yep. Well, Ray's going to walk through a whole family of wards, but spotted out there. Good pink, going to get some value there. It's a 2-for-1 ward deal. He's going to come in as Kuden takes the last one out. Pink still there, actually good pinks. A little triangle of them from the Chiefs around the Baron area. So vision secured there. But the Dials are just starting a group. This is, again, the Dial special. Farm up, get strong, and then start forcing team fights.
And that's absolutely what they should be doing. Poking and sieging is what the Direwolves want. But of course, they have to deal with side lane threats the whole time.
Well, there's only one problem here for poor Dials, and it is Swiper in his level 16 Olaf with 3 major items and a Hex Drinker.
So that's a Void Staff selected here for Sharp as his 3rd item into the Olaf. And funnily enough, I'm not going to say that he can directly 1v1 the Olaf, but I'm pretty sure that he can now give it to him.
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction here for Sharp, because he knows he is not getting out once he gets dived on, so he has to stand and fight.
The only concern is always going to be the Shen coming in. Not so much the Olaf anymore.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, he can't shake off the taunt. I mean, QS has such an awkward item for Ryze to have to buy, and he doesn't have a cleanse. So instead, side wave trimmed. Already going to start a push there in that top side. But the Dial's starting to again move out a bit more aggressively. Ray still has a monumental amount of fun. The fact that he's 50 CS out of Radier shows just how good this man is at farming minions.
Yeah, he can last hit those health bars. Oh, here we go.
Yep. Once again, Sharp now has to fight him, but the ulti's out from Ejim. He needs to dodge the taunt to have any chance of surviving, but there's just no chance. Ejim waits, Sharp's going to go down, and this inhib's getting threatened.
It's just every single time that Swiper finds his way. I have no idea what Sharp was doing that far out of his base. The rest of the Direwolves weren't even sieging. There was no pressure elsewhere. Oh, hello.
Oh, Ray straight in onto Swiper, but he's actually just going to go in for it. Ejim lands the exhaust, but the pillar is down. Ejim does taunt up in onto Fantix, and now Cheese going to come in with a 2-man Wild Growth pop-up. Spooks in the area as well. Massive ultis out from the AD carries as True Shot Barrage moves across them, and the Dials somehow do not die.
The Dials are close to their base, so they can get some health back at least, but this inhibitor will fall.
Oh, good cocoon. Spooks going to get chunked down, but the Sterix and the Maw will pop there and keep Spooks alive. Sybil again looking to hunt for a cocoon, but the Chiefs get what they came for. It's that bot inhib.
They get the
Oh, so
hello.
annoying. Cheese, flash forward for the help picks kill.
The Q connects. The flash E auto from Cheese. Doesn't even need the ignite this time. Might have wanted that earlier. And this is just so aggressive from Direwolves, trying to disconnect Swiper from the rest of his team, but they forget that there's a Lulu. And Radiator does so much poke damage.
Yeah, Chiefs answered well to the aggression of the Direwolves, and it's really hard to lock people down. Once they land one hard CC, you are not getting out of Rise Trundle.
Not at all.
But Fantix's ultis couldn't find a good target for that one, and not enough damage to kill the massive Olaf. And it's starting to get a bit tricky here for the Direwolves.
But that's the biggest deal, is they cannot kill this Olaf.
Yeah.
And even if you could, EGM is just ulting him the entire time.
And Wild Growth as well. Plenty of protection for the Olaf. And Chiefs now going to clean up this Baron. Dial's not anywhere near it, and this is going to die. Kind of forced to give it up with the bot inhib gone, and the Chiefs going to launch ahead in gold now.
Just too easy for the Chiefs right now. Once they're ahead and they execute on these decisions immaculately, no response available from Direwolves, even if they wanted for that Baron. 1-4-1 Rise is the concern. Chiefs came into this game with a strategy. Direwolves started to adapt, but they didn't maintain that strict regime of not dying to Swiper.
Buddy system not in place. And he's sharp again. Just so far down this lane, clearing supers. Just so dangerous. Swiper, thankfully for him right now, is topside, but the rest of the Chiefs going to come down mid.
Like, he needs to, if you're going to split push against Olaf, and you're going to have a Shen coming into your lane, you may as well build something defensive.
Yeah.
Because that's your only job right now, is to control side lanes, and you're losing fights. So hell, go like Randuin's Rise. I don't care what you go.
Frozen Heart's not awful.
No, it's not. In fact, Frozen Heart would be great.
Yeah.
It's just he's got a blasting one now.
Yeah.
Oh, Death Cap?
I guess so. Maybe. I think Rylat's going to help, unfortunately. A little bit of extra health maybe as the Dial's just stuck wave clearing right now. Chiefs got the seed on, but Swiper's just up to no good here in the top lane. Sybil looking for it, but good luck trying to kill the Olaf. Does land a Coon. Swiper's like, whatever, and now going to turn around. Sharp insights once again as Sybil repels out of the way. Ejim is going to come down. Sharp doesn't have his ulti, but might be safe for now. Direwolves looking to defend as the base gets real narrow.
The Direwolves are struggling. Chiefs have been getting poked out though in this middle lane.
Fnatic's doing his job here. Sybil again looking for a pick. Trying to stay proactive here in these skirmish situations. Sharp will force Olaf back with the rest of the Wolves potentially up there, but now back to it. As Ejim actually tanking the turret just so they can get some extra hits in. Radiator starting to slow them off. They'll happily kite back here. And pillar down. Ejim actually caught. Is going to die. Has to give it up. Fnatic's popped the ulti with a bind time for Swiper in the top lane. And that turret's gone. This inhibitor may even fall. Does he have his ulti? He does. He might just man mode through this.
I feel like he'll power into it. The rest of the Chiefs can threaten mid, so even if he doesn't, even if he dies for this, I actually don't even know.
Might even just turn it around. The Chiefs are coming, but not fast enough. Raze almost getting blown up, but they will finally shut the Viking down. But the Dials have other problems here in mid. Fantix gets massively chunked. Ulti, that's a kill. Nice snipe there from Radiator.
Almost a double onto Raze as well as he's blinking low. The Chiefs just pushing their way into this game now.
Radiator aggressive, Sharp, maybe going to turn things around. Can he get the machine gun going? Not quite. And Radiator aggressively over the wall looking for Kuden. Finds it, flashes instantly as Kuden does juke the last Mystic Shot. But this base is in absolute ruins right now.
And Dial's no response. They've got a tank at least that can't deal with the Olaf. They've got a Rise that can't deal with the Olaf. And the rest of the team's just getting poked out.
Oh, and Cheese not even going to kill. No flash for Cheese. You have to think he would have gone for it. But he is going to keep it a bit safer for now. Chase will run back with an absolutely massive cold lead of 7,500 gold. And Direwolves have very little base left to defend.
And the problem's not even vision here for the Direwolves. It's just decision making.
Woo! Woo!
That's all he's got left. Hopes and woos.
Well, Dial's going to just have to really buckle down here. See what they can do. They have a whole lot of minutes with their base just being constricted by waves and waves of super minions. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to let this game go on too much longer.
I mean, I hope that needlessly large rod is satisfying, Sharp. You've got all the damage that you could possibly ask for, but it doesn't actually hurt Swiper.
It's not like his team's short on damage either.
No.
I would understand if he was like the second carry, but Fnatic's just keeps of farm and damage. Raze has a ridiculous amount of farm and items. But there's one pick here. And I feel like maybe, I can't imagine that Fnatic doesn't play Rise. But Chiefs were 100% sure that it was not going mid.
Yeah.
Because they instantly, blue side picked Shen and Olaf last.
And which is a good sign of draft.
Yeah, that's incredible preparation.
They were ready for this. And they executed on it just as incredibly.
Yeah.
The last inhibitor remaining as well. Oh, is it package time?
Oh, Raze. It may well be. Exhaust is up region. That's probably one to watch there if Dials do want to make an aggressive play. One inhibs back, but Sharp's busy defending the others. Kuden going to find a ward. Sybil again looking, but Swiper just grouping with his team now. Nothing left to split push, so he's a great frontliner as well.
Yeah, the Olaf is just so tanky.
Poke is there, Radiant. Oh, that's a big chunk of damage. He burns almost everything to get out there. No sums left. Does QSS and shift away.
He has no health. One auto attack from Raze honestly could do it.
He's so much damage right now on the Corki, and Radiant getting chunk low may give some respite here for the Direwolves, but it's still so difficult.
I don't even know if they get respite just because Swiper's now mid. Not even with an inhibitor to take, just to try and draw pressure. If it comes down to it, he can go to the turrets.
He's still got top or two. He really has to. Sybil maybe caught. Swiper does come in for the flank. Sybil going to have to run back through the base gate and does get out safely, but chunked out pretty hard there. Radiant did lifesteal back up, so he's nice and healthy. And now Shot running in, finds Swiper, ulti proc, Ejim straight onto him. They're going to dive in for it. Ulti's out there as well from the ADs as Ejim's trying to keep him alive. Sharp somehow lives through that, and Kuden actually takes out Swiper. Now Sybil going to come down and look for someone. Is it going to be Cheese or Ejim as Radiant shifts away to safety? Sybil still chasing, but there are so many slows. Cocoon will miss, Kuden will chase in. Raze goes in, but Ejim is going to taunt him up, but Raze just too much damage, and Sharp, massive flank, looks for the wraparound, gets the shutdown onto Lulu, and Radiant, I don't know if he's safe anymore. Fnatic will chase down, but they can't catch Slippery Ezreal.
And the Direwolves push them back one more time. No base remaining besides that bottom inhibitor, but it still stands. And they get the picks that they need here. Direwolves even up the kill score, but they're losing all of their base.
Looking a bit fragile. One Nexus turret will be the only remaining structure left for the Dials to defend in this game. Inhibitors are coming back, but they are wide open for the taking, as we'll see this again.
Yeah, engaging onto Sharp was great, honestly. Uses the Seraph, barely stays alive, which is a massive deal because he teleports back in later. Sybil just tries to stay close and stick. And honestly, at this point, Cheese actually does a damage test himself, realizes that he can kill Sybil, and so uses his E offensively and actually has to run away. But that's where the flank comes in from Sharp. Goodbye one. They do very well to disengage here, Chiefs, from this point. It is a blue Ezreal, but little details like that make the difference.
Certainly do. And the Chiefs now back onto Baron, not giving really much rest at all for the Dials as they have 2 of 3 inhibitors back. No way to defend this Baron, so it will go to the Chiefs. Oh, Sybil, he's so close, but he's not there in time to steal it.
No, not going to be able to steal that Baron as they do pick that one up, Chiefs. They've got a 5k gold lead too, so not bad. And yeah, honestly, with this Baron buff, they've got the capabilities to have Olaf still be in a side lane and just run rampant on all of these inhibitors. The rest of the Chiefs should just pressure bottom, let Olaf go.
It's really just one fight away from the Chiefs taking this game. So close within their grasp, but the Dials, we heard it on the desk, the comeback kings starting to really power up. We're 42 minutes into this game. Death Cap was completed by Sharp. He might not be very tanky. Now he has a chain best. Probably going to be a GA, I'd have to guess there, but the damage coming from the 3 Dials carries is off the chain.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. They have a lot of damage. They don't have Last Whispers, though, on their respective AD and mid laners.
Swiper does not have that much armor.
Yeah, but there's no armor, so it's really interesting.
Ejim actually has a Frozen Heart.
It's entirely killable, though.
Oh, we saw that, yeah.
If the threat's Olaf, they can kill him with just raw damage items. It also gives them the added bonus of sustain by getting Bloodthirsters.
Yeah, you can see defense here again from Dials, but Sharp looks to be holding his ground a little bit better now in top lane. Radiant eats a Cocoon again, gets the woo there from Kuden. And Radiant's eating quite a lot of skill shots here. He does have to be careful. It will not take long for Raze to clean him up.
But this is so clinical from the Chiefs. They can just 1-3-1 again. They can work the bottom lane, keep people busy, and then just split mid and top.
Radiant just eats a crit and a bunch of burst. He just can't afford to be standing there.
Every time. He's being pressured to actually auto-attack these inhibitors. Starting to struggle for it. And honestly, the best response here from Dire was probably put physical damage top lane.
Speaking of struggle, Sharp is actually running out of mana and health in his battle to stop the Olaf. But the Chiefs have not found a way in yet. Still a nice little flank there just for some pressure. Yeah, and Swiper can just pop the ult if he has to. Now the Chiefs move in for the kill. Dre's damage is ridiculous, but he's really close to Ejim. There he goes in for it, but no one joins him. Oh, Toss down as well. Sybil locks down Ejim, but I don't know if they have the damage. The rest of the Wolves now going to come over for it and try and zone them away. They do get one inhib, but only one for now.
No, they got the second one as well.
Did.
So top lane Swiper took that.
Oh, Fantix.
That could be trouble.
Ulti goes wide, and now the Chiefs can close in. Cheese gets absolutely blown up, but he saves himself with the ulti. Radiant taken out by Sharp as he flashes over the wall, and the Direwolves still fighting here in this game as the Chiefs are forced to run away.
Sharp no mana, but has the teleport available. The Direwolves just never say die.
No, they don't.
They are hanging on by a thread in this game right now, but well and truly still in it. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And Radiant, honestly, is just getting destroyed.
Yes.
Every single time Radiant tries to auto-attack, he just dies. Sharp puts him in it. Yeah.
Right.
Puts him in the trash can.
Yep, right in there.
Woos him up.
Woo. This Dial's actually going to get their blue buff. That's actually great. Yeah. Oh, this could be dangerous though. Dials are around the Dragon area. It's not worth it for denying Dragon 2. Even though 3 would be nice.
But they've got the package.
Oh, Raze. This is going to be very intricate. We'll see if the Direwolves can do this correctly, but this is dangerous stuff here.
Ignored.
They will take the Dragon, but Chiefs are powering up the mid lane, and Cheese, he's off to the side denying back. Smart play there. Sharp will actually TP back towards the inhib. And Sybil is getting distracted by Cheese. They're going to fight it out. But the Direwolves actually probably happy to fight. Cheese is not there. Sybil will flash out.
They're actually looking to flank Sybil.
Yep.
If they find a numbers advantage, oh, Spooks.
He's got no flash. Sybil, good repel, tries to get out of it, but he needs to keep running. Team not there. Spooks does hit a cocoon, and that Swiper pops the ulti. Goes straight in for the damage. Egypt rides in once more, but there's just not all the threats in the right place yet. Direwolves still moving out. They hold on for now. Sybil is down though, 50 seconds.
This is a very long time with a member dead. Chiefs with the... What the heck is happening?
Ejim caught out of position, goes down to Fantix, but massive burst onto the backline. Radiant gets aggressive and shuts down Sharp, but the damage is still here. Swiper has to be careful. He's eating quite a lot of damage to the face now. The Chiefs go retake once again. This game is still not over somehow.
These turrets are getting threatened. The Chiefs can look to auto and poke this down. They do have the numbers advantage ever so slightly, but Cheese is low. Oh my god.
Raze wanted it, but he doesn't quite find it. Burns the flash though. Spooks goes in. He wants to finish off the turret, but the Dials hold one more time.
I don't know if they've held yet.
Oh, Fantix! Big ulti, but Radiant turns it around. Good shift out as well. Fantix is low. He actually almost dies. Face of the Mountain's going to barely save him. True Shot Barrage just missing him this time. Hurricane from Fantix. So much lifesteal, and he's back to full.
This turret's going to go down.
Swiper comes back, he's TP'd in. They're going to take the turret. He might just go for the Nexus. Radiant pops the Wild Growth in. They have to kill Swiper, but they have to be so careful when they do so. Radiant still Wild Growth up. Sharp dead for 10 more seconds. Kuden dies there as Radiant takes him out, but Raze is doing ridiculous damage. Sybil
hitting the Nexus
down. They are going to hit it. Spooks, they are going to take it out, and the Chiefs are just, oh my god, he started it. There we go. Takes the Nexus and finishes the game. 47.5 minutes. And the Dials, they fell behind, but boy did they fight.
That was a valiant defense from the Direwolves. They tried their absolute hardest to stay in that game. Just to no avail because of the early and mid-game strength that the Chiefs have already put in place. It was just, oh, they tried so hard, it was so close.
Yeah, it almost felt like a draft loss because of how well they played, but man, did the Dials still look scary in those late fights. When they power up, they really fight hard.
Well, Carbon said, just like the Hydra's head, you know, Direwolves, they get stronger with every defeat.
Well, they certainly do, and one game down. We'll go to the analyst test for a bit more on that game.
For what looked like a one-sided game, That got awfully close towards the end, but let's bring it back. Let's go back to the beginning. As every good story, there was a beginning to this one, and it was a draft for the Chiefs. You know, forcing Sharp onto that rise felt like they just had every answer for it throughout the game.
Coach just clearly put a good plan together here, I think. I mean, they baited the rise, obviously, and at the time we said it during the pause, you know, like they clearly have a plan here, but how many times can they execute it? Well, the answer is very many.
Yeah, the answer is basically off cooldown. And that was the thing, is the fact that they managed to catch Sharp out over and over again. They're trying to farm the side lanes to the point where Swiper was 5-1. And this Olaf was just unanswerable and then continued to do it under inhibitor turrets.
And we said, like, the one thing I will always give Swiper for is he will take any kind of matchup his team needs him, and he's, for a great player, he always likes to play the utility role. And we said that Sharp has improved, but is Swiper still a step ahead? The answer looks like definitely yes at this point in time.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's easy to look at the scoreboard and say, yeah, you know, Sharp got shit on, but at the same time, like, this was a coordinated effort, clearly. You know, EGM was instrumental in the win.
Oh, he missed taunts.
I mean, he did miss taunts, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, the plan was that good. You know, I think in the top lane, yeah, they missed everything, but it didn't matter.
It does show you one thing though, is that a plan in the draft is so important, because Chiefs, honestly, it felt like their plan was just so good that they were able to win the game off executing that plan. Of course, it did look a lot more difficult towards the end, which goes in favor of Direwolves, the fact that their kiteback was so strong with all of that added poke, but it just didn't seem to be quite enough.
Yeah, I think one big thing there is not only is it important to have a plan, but it's also important to adapt. And I think what we saw at the very, very end when Direwolves were forced to group, that actually team fights are pretty close when it's a 5v5. And so it makes you wonder, you know, if they had done that a little bit earlier, could that have possibly been an answer?
And that's actually where I want to go. I want to go to the opposite side of the rift, because I saw something in Direwolves at the end, and it was their AD carrying their mid lane, Raisin Fantix just pumping out so much damage, putting up such a valiant defense. You feel if they do go towards a team fight comp, these two guys for an okay bottom lane are going to be able to put in a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's a good shout out there to Ejim as well, his remarks there towards the Dials bottom lane. But I was actually really impressed by Raisin Cuden. Honestly, a lot of the pillars were fantastic. One of them even managed to get Ejim inside a wall, which is super cool. You know, it's difficult to do that. And look, saving a lot of their carries over and over again was Cuden. So I feel like if they make the adaptation and manage to actually play not necessarily Chiefs League of Legends and try and get some picks and get like some team comp, I guess, like as far as the synergy is concerned, in the Direwolves' favor, then things could turn around. And look, it's exactly what we're talking about. The comeback kings, can they actually do it? I have a feeling that the Direwolves, based on their showing mechanically, definitely can.
Yeah, and the last area I want to hit on for the Chiefs is actually their mid laner, Cheese. Chiefs have always kind of been a predictable team, Carbon. In fact, I remember you saying that they would just get towards late game team fights and you guys would be able to run over the top of them for that predictability. Cheese gives them this weird wild card in the mid lane. I have no idea what's going on with this guy, but he's fun to watch.
I mean, he definitely is entertaining to watch. I'm curious to see what he plays next game. Hopefully Lulu is banned, so we see some something out of left field. I'd love to see the Swain once more. But,
hell yes, the promised land.
Yeah, look, so I don't know if you know, the Chiefs are a bit more professional than YSC were, so I'm not sure whether he'll give license to do that.
Well, we'll see if that's the case, because guys, Chiefs win game 1, but we definitely have at least one more game left for you tonight.